Hello and welcome to the May episode of Spartan Sports Central, our final episode of 2018-19. We have a great show ahead for you. We welcome Ken Savanah, our athletic director, with a special guest host. Stay tuned because later in this show we'll talk to track coaches Sergio, Hinojosa, and Franchelle Davis ahead of the state track meet. The player profile is tennis player Sally Huang.
Welcome back to Spartan Network. My name is Ken Savanah Jr. and today I'm interviewing a good man, my father. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So today I'm gonna ask you a few questions about sports. So the first one's gonna be how you think football season went?
Well, I think we underachieved. I think we left several ball games on the field that we had an opportunity to win. Overall, though, I was pleased with the way we competed, the way the group came together, and the way you guys worked to try and make playoffs and to try and do different things during the year. So I think we had a good year. I just don't think it showed on our record.
What do you plan on doing to make sure we get in the playoffs this year?
I think we'll have a great opportunity this year. We're going to continue to work hard. The biggest thing about a program is that you have up and down years. You don't want to panic when things don't go well. If you're a program, then you're able to come back from whatever happened. I think we'll be stronger this year in some facets. We're going to hurt a little bit, losing some of you guys that were 3-year starters. But I think we'll have an opportunity to make the playoffs this year.
Do you know who filling the spots of them?
We've got a long time before August 31st. We have some ideas. We have some guys that we think it's time for them to step up. They've been in the program. They've learned, they've grown since they've been in the program. So, every year is somebody's opportunity to step up.
I want to ask you about another sport. How did you think volleyball did this year?
I think she had a rough year in terms of her record, but I do know that the girls enjoyed playing this year. They competed real well. I watched them several times throughout the year. They competed well. They played hard. And I think this should be the year that she gets an opportunity to break through, gets to see some rewards for all the work that they've been putting in the last couple of years.
So let's talk about basketball. They went deep in playoffs.
Yeah, we were fortunate both in girls and boys basketball. Coach Spivey and the girls program were able to get back to the playoffs this year. And he was kind of young when you look at the program. I think he's graduating 3 seniors. And he's got a bunch of girls that are coming back next year. I saw some of his younger girls over the weekend playing in the AAU tournament, and they looked real well. So they've got a lot of promise, and he thinks that they're going to be pretty good this year. The boys program is first year for Coach Montagna. And they did a great job. I mean, he stepped in, was able to get them into the playoffs and get them into a nice little run. Part of it was that the kids bought into him, and once they bought in, things started to take off. So I think he'll have a better year next year. We're looking for bigger and better things from them.
So that's the next sport I asked you about, powerlifting.
Well, it's kind of difficult to focus on it right now, what we're going to be about. Whenever my thoughts go to it, I think about Coach Taylor. And slowly putting together a plan in my mind about what we need to do. I do know that with the graduation of you and Ethan and a couple of other people in the program, it's going to be tough because we don't have that leadership. But then I do know that there's some guys there like Marcus and like Robert and Sean and those guys And some of the girls were young this year that they're going to be back. So I think we'll have a good program. We're going to get a coach in that's knowledgeable in the sport, and continue to do what he would want the program to do. It was real big to him. He had kind of laid foundation for the programs in the area. He was really big in organizing the powerlifting programs, and we're going to try to continue that legacy next year with the guys that are here and getting a new coach in.
What about soccer? They always doing good.
They're always doing good. Coach Perez and Coach Rose do a great job. Coach Maldonado and Coach Gutierrez, they do a really good job. The girls and the boys made it to the playoffs. Of course, the boys are perennial regional appearance again this year, and just couldn't get it done. But that says a lot for a program. You think about it, they're one of the top programs in the state every year. They're in the regionals. So I think I know they'll be working. Coach Rose got them out there already running. So they'll be working and they'll get better. Hopefully this year we get past that regional round. And then the girls, he didn't lose a lot of girls this year, and they were able to make the playoffs. And I think they'll be pretty good. One of the things where they were young this year, so they've got a year worth of experience. So I think they'll be a lot better next year.
What about track? They're going to state this weekend.
Yeah, I've been here 6 years, and we've been real fortunate. We've either been, the last 4 years, we've either been the state champ or the state runner-up. And I think this year's team will be vying for that state championship. With everything goes right, I think they'll have an opportunity to get it. And that goes back to when you first got here. That group was that first group you saw was really, really impressive. And then after that, we just continued to have, the tradition of track here at Stafford. And you guys have helped carry that tradition along and pushing it on to the next group. I think that's one of the big things here at Stafford, is that we're able to pass traditions on from one group to the next.
Okay, well, we're closing it out. Nice interviewing you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What should I expect from you at U of H?
Big thing.
Big things?
Big thing.
All right. I'll keep that. I'm going to write that down. All right.
Next up, player profiling.
Welcome back to Spartan Sports Central. Thanks to Ken Savanah Jr. for interviewing his dad. In today's player profile, we feature Sally Huang. She was a leader for the SHS tennis team. Ray Milano has this report.
Tennis at Stafford High School requires a lot of focus on and off the court. This month's player profile, Sally Huang, shows us how she stays in focus in the game and in her schooling.
Sally's made a lot of progress. She started playing tennis in middle school, didn't get too much experience. As a freshman, she wasn't that great of a player, but she had a lot of grit. And she showed through her consistent attendance and practice that she wanted to get better. She was here both summers, where we started on August 1st in the heat. She came every day to practice. This year she was elected by her classmates and fellow team members as team captain, and she's shown that leadership both on and off the court. She's motivated other kids to get out here, even when myself and Coach Goldberg are not able to be here for self-directed practice with just the players. And as a player, she's improved quite a bit. She's been playing mixed doubles this year with Armand, and they've done very well. I think they've brought home 4 or 5 medals from different tournaments this season.
Well, it doesn't really feel like I'm being a leader in my tennis club, because I don't want to show authority or superiority over anyone, because I'm a student at Stafford High School too, and they're also students, and I feel like we're more like peers and sports friends, and instead of like, oh, I'm the captain and you're the people we have to listen to me. Like, I listen to them and they listen to me. It's a cooperative sports.
I was fortunate to actually have Sally as a student back in 7th and 8th grade in the middle school in Spanish. And I can see there that she was a hard worker, that she took her academics seriously. So it was very gratifying for me to see that when she started tennis, she put just as much effort into her athletics. She shows, again, by her hard work, by consistent attendance, and willingness to learn and to listen, that she wants to get better. She puts in the hours, and you can see that translated in her effort and in her abilities on the court. Overall, just Sally is a great, hard-working student and athlete. She really embodies student-athlete. If I'm not mistaken, she is first in the sophomore class academically. So obviously, she's been putting forth a lot of effort in her classes, and that's the same thing I'm seeing out here in tennis. She's never one to stray away from a challenge. She always shows up and gives her best effort.
I feel this year was like the team grew a lot more. We made a lot of improvements, and we also have we gained more experience overall. So I'm pretty sure next year, no, I'm positive that we'll be a better team next year, and hopefully that people stay passionate about the sports.
This year she mostly focused on mixed doubles, but it was also very pleasing that when I played her at singles, she did well there too. So I'm expecting her to continue to step up for the team. When we have fall season come August, she'll be playing both singles and doubles, and I look forward to her continuing to develop as a player.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a master at tennis, but yeah, I do help them in the sports or technique whenever they ask me, and sometimes I ask them to stay after school if they really need the help. And I can also ask Coach Wood to teach me how to teach them, the players. So it's a learning process that I'm still trying to get to. All my friends in the tennis group were along the same age, so I'm a competitive person by nature, and I think that leads them to be more competitive and motivates them to improve themselves as well. If they ask me if I'm staying after school, I will always answer that I am. And so they will follow suit most likely and just play along or rally with me so we can improve in the sports.
She says, Coach, I want to work on this. And so we work, I give her one-on-one attention when she comes in. I always appreciate when a player says, hey, I want to get better. Coach, can you help me with this? So several practices this season, I've been able to work with her one-on-one to work on specific things like her forehand or her backhand, her overhead shots, and I've seen the improvement.
Well, personally in my life, I look up to my mom the most. She's the hardest worker I ever met. And she also has this leader aspect to her, so I think sometimes I follow suit to hers. I don't feel pressured by my mom to do my best in the tennis because we both know it's just a game and it's just a part of experience in life. It's not a life or death situation. So her voice in my head when I'm really focused is to just have fun and relax.
So as Sally says, relax is the key to focus in school and in tennis. To support the tennis program at Stafford MSD, contact Coach Wood and visit the link at staffordmsd.org. For Stafford Sports Center, this is Ray Milano.
Wow, sounds like she has a bright future. Thanks for that story, Ray. Next up is Coach Hinojosa, who's built a track dynasty here at Stafford. Welcome back to the show. We have Coach Hinojosa here, who's getting ready for the state track meet on Saturday in Austin. Welcome back to the show, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so you guys were regional, area, and district champions. Tell me about that.
Yes, we were 2 years in a row. We've been to district champs, area, and regionals. Had a bunch of qualifiers to all those different championship meets. So we're excited about this weekend.
Okay, so I know one guy that's got a lot of attention. He was our player profile last month. Was Ryan Martin. Does he have a good chance to become the state champion this year?
He does indeed. He is. He's one of the fastest kids. He's actually the fastest kid in 4A. And top 5 in the country, so he's really excited. He has an opportunity to win the gold medal, so that's definitely his goal.
And he was awfully close last year.
He was. The kid that beat him was a senior last year, and he's moved on. So Ryan has been the #1 kid in 4A all year.
Yeah, and that kid was from Silsbee. He's now at Baylor, I think, doing track and football. But what about I know last year we came within an event of winning state. What are our chances now? I know we don't have as many people in the field events, but we have 5 events for track. Do we have a chance to win that state title?
Anytime you're there and with a couple of relays and a few open events, you have an opportunity to win. We look at it as, going in there and making sure that our kids are are ready to perform and do their best, and then we'll see what happens after that. But yes, we do have a chance. We've got one of the top relays in the state, and the 4x1, and also in the 4x2, and we feel that our open events are really strong as well. All of them have been ranked in the top 3 in the state in 4A all year long. So we've got to go in there, compete, and a little luck doesn't hurt anybody. But we feel really good about the 4x1. We think we can come out there and set the tone from that first race and get a victory on that, and then just let that go into the rest of the meet.
So Martin's going to do 3 races on Saturday then?
He is, and that's kind of what we do. We don't always have a large group, but all the kids that we have are pretty good quality kids that double up and triple up sometimes and do multiple events, and that's kind of not necessarily the best way to do it, but that's kind of been our recipe around here the last few years, and it works out.
So the 4x1 is Martin, and tell me who else on that one?
Leadoff leg is Ryan to Tashawn Wilson as second leg, and then Dion MacGyver would be third leg, and then Ryan. Actually, Ryan's last leg, and Jaden Walker is the leadoff leg.
Oh, okay. I mean, I know he's good. I didn't think he could run 2 legs of the same relay, but that'd be something to see. Okay, so Jaden Walker is a sophomore. He's an up-and-coming kid in your program?
That's right. He is a kid who has done well for us. He runs any of the relays, really, and then the 100, 200, and he's a 10th grader, and we're looking forward to him getting a lot better next year, getting in the weight room and getting a little bit more physical.
And then the 4x2?
4x2, we're going to change up the order a little bit and try to put Ryan at the end and let him.
And who else is running in that?
We're going to lead off with Dion, and then we have a little surprise, but I think we might put Sterling in there.
Okay.
And then
so he'll be doing 3 events then.
Yeah, he'll be doing 3 events, and then we'll give it to Tashawn, and then let Ryan bring it home. So we feel that by doing that, that'll put us in a better spot. We will have a chance to get on the award stand.
So Sterling Riles was a sophomore last year, came in 4th in the 400. This year he qualifies not only for the 400 but the 800 as well.
He does. We told him last year we thought that by him, running the 800, it would pay dividends towards the end, and I think we've seen that, and which is why we're even considering putting him in the 4x2 because of how strong he is on everything that he's done all season. We think that if anybody can do it, it's Sterling to be able to come back to back, because the 4x2 and the 400 are back to back, and this year we're doing 3 classifications at the state meet: 2A, 4A, and 6A. So he'll have 30 minutes from one race to the next. And really, we wanted to show potential college recruits that he's more versatile and he can run the 800 as well as the 400, and that he's not afraid to do it. And in fact, I've already gotten several comments from several college coaches that like that about him.
Okay, well, that sounds great, and we'll see you on Saturday. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, next up is Coach Davis with the Stafford High girls track and field team. Coach Davis is the SHS girls head track coach. The Lady Spartans just won district and area championships. Welcome back to the show, Coach.
It's a blessing to be here.
Great. Yeah, so tell me about that area and district championships that you guys have won.
It was amazing. Stafford girls have not won the district track meet since 2006, and I have been honing in on those girls all year because it was at Stafford and it was such a big deal for them to win. So district was like, hey, we're coming hard, we're trying everything that we can, and it was such an amazing feeling for them to win and for them to feel that success. And area was just like a shocker, like, let's just go out there and be the best you that you can be, and it was just amazing that they still were able to come out as champions.
And when was the last time we won area? Do you have
I don't think we've ever won area in school history. So don't quote me, but I don't think it's happened as of yet.
Okay, oh, wow. So you're headed to the state track meet, and you have, this is your second year coaching here, and you have your first individual, which is Robin Robinson in the 300 hurdles, and then your first relay team, which is the 4x1.
Yes,
So what does that mean to have those first qualifiers?
I mean, these first qualifiers, it's just an amazing feeling because we went into the regional meet and I had, all of these things going on, and it was just with some injuries that popped up at the last minute. and some stuff going wrong with batons. I am just excited that those girls were still able to go out and still find a way. I'm very happy that Robin still competed to her best and was able to get the 3rd qualifier and still be coming in 5th out of everybody that qualified in the state. The 4x1, it's going to be an even better race for them at state meet because at regionals there were a lot of different things going on, and they're more prepared, more focused, and at state they're going to rock it.
Okay, so for Robin, she transferred here from Brookshire Royal. She played volleyball, and then she finishes 3rd at the regional meet, but because of the wild card system, she's still able to go. So that really speaks volumes about our region, that the top 5, out of the top 5, we have 3.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they're sitting 2-3, Robin is sitting 5th, but the girls that beat her at regionals just barely nipped her. So like I told her, she can go out there and she can win, she can walk home with a medal. Either way, the choice for Robin to be successful is there.
Okay. And then the relay team, obviously at these other meets, they're competing in their own events and different things like that. Now they can kind of hone in on
focus
on the relay.
one thing, and I think it's going to maximize the amount that we're able to see. We're going to be able to see the best 4x1 that Stafford girls can produce this year, which is exciting.
And you have Shanta Thomas running, and she was obviously a basketball star for Stafford. Where is she going to go next year?
We're still talking through some things, trying to get a basketball maybe combined with track scholarship for her because she is so well-rounded in both. She has not honed in on a decision yet, but Shanta is just an amazing athlete. No way around it.
It was Jayla Pratt on a relay a couple of years ago.
Jayla Pratt is the first leg on this 4x1. And
no, I'm saying, but did she get a chance to go to state
yes, so
as a
her
freshman?
and Shanta went when she was I believe she was a sophomore. She was a sophomore, and Jayla was a freshman. And
okay, so
they both went with
that
group about a year ago, 2 years ago.
Okay, and then you have Kayla Mack, of course.
Yes, Kaya Mack, and it's so funny because she was 3rd place in the Open 200, and she just barely lost. But I was hoping that she would get the wild card spot, but that was just didn't work out that way. But Kaya Mack is a monster. She has so much growth to go, and she's grown and improved so much since she was a freshman.
And who's the 4th athlete?
It's Skylar Carey, and she's a sophomore. And
okay, sure, yeah, we
yes,
had her
I'm
on
like,
the
and we
player
had
profile
yes,
earlier
sir.
this year, yeah.
She's the growing baby of this group.
Okay. So I know you said a lot of kids had a chance and they were awfully close to going to state, barely missed it, but is this success kind of a sign of things to come for you guys?
This success is a big sign of things to come because they all, outside of Shanta Thomas and Chelsea Nuwasu, they're all returning. And the JV squad was maybe like 2 or 3 points off of winning district for them. So it's like we have so much of a positive future going on here for the Stafford girls, and I'm just proud and happy to be here with them.
You guys arrive in Austin on Friday?
Yes, sir. We'll be there Friday.
Any plans between then and then when the meet starts on Saturday evening?
I wanted the girls to go around and see a couple of colleges because that's my biggest goal is for them to get athletic scholarships or academic scholarships. I want them to see what those college lives look like. And then we're going to go to the track meet. We want to go see some good competition Friday night.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that is the final episode of our spring season. We thank you for tuning in.
This program was produced on the Stafford campus of Houston Community College.